G'day there guys, this is Marky, and welcome back to another episode of r/legal advice. Now chuck a prawn on the barbie, not a shrimp, because we're not American, and get to getting angry about stuff that's legal and give him some advice. Found a human tooth in my lasagna. Big edit, I'm gonna file a report with the FDA and see what happens. I fear that we may never know the truth behind my lasagna tooth. Now, I won't be able to name specific companies involved or anything because of an outstanding claim that exists with this specific lasagna company's insurance, but hopefully I can get some advice. We live in Salt Lake City in Utah. A few months ago, I was eating some frozen lasagna and chomped down on something hard. Looking back, it's actually kind of funny because I was eating while playing a game and was momentarily too distracted to realize what I had bitten down on. I soon figured out it was a tooth. Pretty fudging grossed out, but nothing bad really happened. I assumed this would just end up being a funny and slightly disturbing story to tell. My fiance's mother was really concerned when we told her. She convinced us that it was a matter of public safety and we should report it somehow. So we filed a claim with the grocer's health department and waited to hear back. They gave us a bit of a runaround, transferring us from one adjuster to the next. Eventually, they requested we send the tooth to them in the mail for analysis. I had saved it like a serial killer in the fridge, lol. So some time goes by and their representatives emails us back confirming that not only was it a human tooth, but somehow a child's tooth. Ugh, fudging nasty. My favorite food is ruined forever. Around this time, they had transferred us to people on behalf of the lasagna company and washed their hands of the situation, I suppose. The lasagna folks announced to us that they had filed an official insurance claim and that we were to wait for the next steps. I guess at this point, we were only hoping for some sort of resolution. How did a kid's tooth get in the lasagna? Was there gulp? The remains of the rest of the child spread throughout thousands of lasagnas worldwide? Was it some sort of kid's sweatshop? My friends joked that I should sue them or something. But for what? For being grossed out? I had no medical bills or anything. I just wanted to see the results of their investigation, and at the very least get my lasagna purchase reimbursed. The last thing we heard is that they don't know where the tooth came from and that their investigation is essentially over. Their insurance agent offered us $250 and wanted to close the case. Personally, I was stunned that they offered us money. My fiancée and her mother urged me to not take it. They're worried that the company is just trying to pay us off and sweep the situation under the rug. As far as I know, there will be no recall of products and no further investigation. So I guess my question is, do we have a moral obligation to keep pushing the claim until this company takes some sort of actionable responsibility for the incident? It feels like there could be something scummy going on here. I know the World Health Organization takes these things pretty seriously, but nothing like this has ever happened, so I'm not really sure what my rights or obligations are. Thanks for reading. Cheers. My Buthole has been a location on Facebook since 2012, and I can't get it removed. I wish this was fake, but it's not. The first thing you see when you type my full name on Google is, original post is Buthole. This page was created in 2012. I was only 15 at the time. I have reported it 1,000,000 times, even asked friends to report it. It's humiliating. I tried requesting the name change of the page, reported it for every option possible. Facebook says it doesn't violate terms. Tried claiming it as my business since at the bottom of the page, it claims it's automatically going to be generated off interest to the topic and not affiliated with the business, which I don't understand how that happened. And it wouldn't let me claim it. It was never a business. I was a child. I feel so hopeless. Any advice would be appreciated. I promise I'm not trolling and have proof if needed, with my name obviously edited out. Location is California. My sister is wanting my kid after I die. I have always been straightforward and let everyone know that my son is to go to my best friend when I pass away if he is still underage. His dad and that side of the family are absolute trash, toxic, bigoted, racist, always the victim, entitled jerks. My side is mostly old and disabled, except for my sister. She's in college, has a good job, doing well. However, she's kind of a terrible person. She's also extremely introverted and gets drained easily. My son is 4 and special needs. I 100% do not think she'd be mentally and emotionally equipped to handle him. She's saying when I die and son is still underage, she's going to go against my dying wish, my wants, and my very thorough decision of what is best for my son. She says she's going to court for kinship if I die or whatever, maybe even now. What can I do to protect my son? He would be best in my best friends, and I've thought about it for years, and it's never changed. Thanks everyone for any help that can be provided. Edit, wanted to add some additional context. 1. Dad is a registered sex offender against a minor female. My son does not fit the age or sex of his preferred victim type. He's trying to be a better dad, so I've allowed more visitation based on that. The situation with his crime is complicated. 2. Dad is not financially sound to take care of our son. He doesn't know how to budget or save. He is currently in one of those roaming apartments and usually can't pay his phone bill in a timely fashion, if that gives you any indication of his ability to take care of a child, let alone himself. 3. Probably can't marry friend because she's in love and eventually wants to marry her partner. So no Chuck and Larry kind of thing gonna happen there. 4. Friend is 100% on board about taking son when I pass. Family is not, because family should be with family, even if they are not equipped to do so. Especially my mother and grandmother. Think I'm not choosing my sister because I don't love her or some BS like that and refuse to listen to my argument and reasonings. All of them are stubborn and feel insulted that I chose an outsider. 5. Sister thinks she's stable enough to handle him. She's fallen asleep watching him and he wasn't there by her because he left to go to a different apartment. My mother and grandmother live kitty corner across the hallway from each other in the same building. Sister was visiting. I just know as he's getting older and his needs are getting more pronounced and defined, she wouldn't be able to handle his outbursts or special attention. 6. I am dying. Slowly, but most likely won't make it through another decade. Also, in case of a fatal accident, I want him to be protected. 7. I am sure if it is between friend and sister, Dad would 100% pick friend. However, he might want his family to take son, which would be catastrophic. They are absolutely a terrible fit for taking care of him, given their track record with him. Edit 2. 1. I'm going to have friend more involved with son's life. She lives in a different city, but I'm going to make sure she's put forward with an involvement. Also, not going to marry her, unfortunately. It just doesn't seem like the right step. 2. I'm going to see about estate and family lawyers in my area to A. to see about making sure friend is son's guardian after I pass, B. making sure sister and dad's family don't get him. Thank you everyone. Girlfriend's sister has our address on her driver's license to evade police. I live in Oregon with my girlfriend and her little sister in a 2-bedroom apartment. My girlfriend's older sister has never lived with us and is always in legal trouble, theft, drugs, etc. Lately, the local sheriff's department has been coming by our place looking for her. We have told them that she doesn't and never has lived here, and that we are not in contact with her. The sheriff told us that our address is the address listed on her driver's license. I called the local city police department about it as maybe false identity or something, and they said the only thing they can do is call the DMV and talk to them about it. But when calling the DMV, they say that that is private information and can't discuss it with us, that they only discuss it with the older sister, who won't change it as she is obviously using it to evade the police. Is there anything else we can do to get this taken off of her driver's license? It is incredibly annoying to hear her knocking on the door and wondering if it's the police looking for her. Also, I am concerned if she can use our address to steal our mail or other things, as she has also been arrested many times for identity theft. My 18 male, parents, 66 male, 51 female, are in prison and out of the country, not sure what to do. It started when we were evicted from our old apartment. We couldn't quite pay for rent, so we had to leave, and my dad managed to get £400 a month for a couple months for our new place. He flew my mum back out to our country, and both of us were in this new studio apartment. While I was out of the house, my dad was arrested for the last apartment's debt and needs £5,000 for bail. I can't get a job due to a visa situation, and I'm worried about losing the apartment and all of our things if I'm unable to get £400 together, let alone £5,000 for my dad's bail. I'm unsure of what my next step should be. I've thought about finding some work, but I don't want to get arrested for legality issues that my dad was getting sorted for me. Would really appreciate any help. I've written the costs in pounds, but I'm in the United Arab Emirates. And our last one. Employer made me finish a task before I was allowed to leave after having 2 seizures. I need some advice, obviously. I live in New Mexico and have epilepsy. My employer is well aware of this fact, as I have filed medical paperwork with them as well as our corporate HR, so there was no guessing about my condition. Yesterday, I had 2 seizures. The first one was minor and happened on lunch outside of the workplace. I didn't have a long time to recover, so I went back to work, no problem. However, on some rare occasions, I will get a second or even third seizure after my first. Yesterday was one of those days. So I come back to work, start working, but I'm still fatigued from the first seizure, so I'm a little more sluggish than usual. I start walking around and helping customers when I realized I needed to run to the bathroom. I throw up and see blood, which is pretty normal when I'm having to fight off seizures for a day. That usually tells me that another one is coming on, so I start getting ready for it to hit. I come to my break room and sit for a minute. I hadn't used my second break for the day, so this was not against policy or anything. So I have the second seizure. My girlfriend, who works with me, comes into the break room to check up on me. The second seizure is way worse than the first, basically making me useless for the rest of the day. So she reports it to our store manager and asks if she can take me home and come back to finish her shift, or just stay home, since her shift was over in 15 minutes anyway. He informs her that I'm not to leave until some pictures of our personal board are printed, a job duty that is supposed to be done by managements, but I took on to help alleviate some of their duties. Do I just need to embrace this, or do I have any legal resources? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that one today. Tell me what you thought about it down in the description below, and if you want to help these people, be sure to go onto the r/LegalAdvice subreddit and offer them some help if you can. That is all for me today, and I'll see you in the next episode guys. Have a good one. Bye.